Hello, everybody. Welcome to the featured league match of this week in D1. We have gamesou versus Zanderg. I am Juniper here, and I am joined today by breppert.
Hello.
I think I need to turn you up a little bit.
I can
Maybe
also
not.
try to speak louder.
Oh, no, my volume was low. Your volume's fine. Never mind.
Cool.
Okay. breppert used to be around during the time when I first was playing, so I haven't seen breppert in a while. So it's
Yeah, I
nice.
think it was many, many years since we've played or talked or done anything really together other than maybe we've crossed in Discord on a thing or two, I'm sure.
Maybe, yeah. I remember gamesou back in the day as well, even older, way back in the super early days of Dominion. It was in A League all the time, played Mick. Might have even won a championship or two. I don't. That's too old for me though. I don't remember that.
I think they were around from the very start, definitely predate me. But they got to the championship match at least once I saw against Steph. They didn't win it ever. I'm not sure if they got to more, but yeah, it was in A for like 9 seasons or something,
Yeah,
like that.
very old player. They've been around a long time. All right. Oh no. No ban list. That means we're gonna have a possession game. I hope not. That's always what happens though.
No ban list is pretty wild for
Yeah.
two players, especially two players in D.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit crazy. It doesn't look like there's a village here that I see. Yeah, there's no village here.
Yeah, so you're
So,
quite limited right then in
yeah,
what you can do, although there's a lot of gaining to be had here.
there is.
I
All
guess
right.
the non-terminal variety with wheelwright would be what you'd be mostly concerned with. But you want to play with one terminal, probably an inventor, I imagine, would be the best one.
I don't see a better one, but then again, it's quite possible you could, for example, set up sentries with Necromancer and like a wheelwright discard to and like do milling and stuff. You can kill cards into duchies later. So probably the key to this board is using the Necromancer Zombie Mason in tandem with the Sentry and the Wheelwright to get those extra gains in. That's what I'm seeing at least. But before that, you're probably going to want to try and win the Desture split with Wheelwright, possibly. It
Yeah, I
might,
think that
yeah.
that all makes sense to me. We did see gamesou go for the top deck Sentry
Yep.
open, and Xander did not match that. I think I like the top deck Sentry quite a
Yeah,
bit.
Zanderberg's probably already pretty behind, unfortunately. Um, it seems. I mean, you never know, but it's pretty hard to compete against a top deck Sentry. But we'll see if Zanderberg can make a game of it.
Yeah, the payload density here is actually pretty dense for the mid game with the wheelwrights once you get thin. So
Absolutely,
once Game
yeah.
2 gets there, it'll be good. Although Game 2 also hasn't managed to trash an estate yet, so that's the other side of the century.
Yes, that's the other side. But there is Wheelwright. Do you have to gain a card? You have to, but if you just toss an estate, you can't really gain any action card. So it's a way to get sentries working potentially later.
Right.
Treasury from gamesou, which I don't particularly like that much.
No, no, I don't either. I guess the coin helps a little bit for price points, certainly in this
A
part of
little
the
bit,
game, but
yeah.
probably prefer to have other stuff, even a hunting party, maybe.
Hunting party, second century, wheelwright,
Right. Yeah, all those.
necromancer even is okay. I probably would just have a wheelwright though, because you can just toss a 5 and turn it into a necromancer if that's what you really want.
Yeah,
Um, Yeah, I'm thinking for Zanderberg here. I don't. I'm not sure why we're saving an estate. I don't see what it does, and also there are some decent fours, like another Necromancer is probably okay. Transport's alright as well.
Yeah, I think the
Yeah,
transport's pretty competitive with taking one of those fours there. I think I would have. I like the transport.
yeah. Alright, so gamesou now has a very thin deck with no real way to get the estates trashed. It's gonna be a little
Yeah,
fun.
thin, but not hitting 5 and still has all their estates. So has some issues.
Yeah, nothing too crazy. I mean, gamesou seems way ahead to me right now. I don't know about the Cardinal either, but I guess I guess it's okay. I guess if you're gonna have a silver, you might as well have a Cardinal.
I suppose. I think I do know about the Cardinal though, and that I would say I don't want it at all. I'd prefer an Inventor, and then I can use that to hit 5 and also pick up a Necromancer while you're at it. And then I guess maybe the Inventor isn't actually that good because it's not gaining you useful stuff really after the first
Um,
gain.
it's okay. It's certainly all right. You can do quite a bit with it actually. Like it has a virtual coin attached to it because of its afterplay. You can get a Necromancer, which is a card you probably want anyways, and then later you can just toss the Inventor with Wheelwright or set it up somehow to where you can Mason the Inventor. Like there's just Inventor probably was the play the last turn. Okay, so Zanderberg gets two hunting parties and now promptly loses one. I'm expecting a wheel right now. That would be what my intuition tells me now is the time for the wheel right. How thin the deck is.
Yeah, I think it's probably time. Although you're still a little light on targets, I think it just makes sense to add the wheel right now.
Yeah, I'm not sold on saving estate either. I would want I would want the estate in the deck for the century sweepstakes, but it's probably okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it might be his first wheelwright play might just be to discard an estate to trash it.
Uh, maybe.
Because you really want to be gaining 5s here. 5s are much better than the. I mean, other after the first few necromancers, the 5s are much better than the 4s. Maybe
Yes.
even just one necromancer. I'm not sure on 2.
Well, two is all right because you can always play the first necromancer as a spy. So, like
And then you're using this
the
the
first one.
mason.
Oh yeah, yeah. So you could get away with having two necromancers, no problem. That's fine. Potentially even later you sack one of these cards into something else. Even like apparently the inventor's already in the trash. So that's pretty nice.
Yeah, that's a useful one.
Um, only useful for Zanderberg at the moment. Gamesou tosses their treasury for a hunting party. Yeah, looks good to me. Gets a destrier. Looks good to me. The nice thing about this hunting party is it probably will skip over the estate. So it does help a little bit with the thinning. Zanderberg starting to catch up a little bit here, but only a little bit on trashing.
Yeah, you're starting to get closer on trashing, but really, right, you need to be in a position where you're the first player popping off these wheelwrights,
Yeah.
and still seems like Game Sue's in a much better spot to do that.
Yeah, Zanderberg probably just has to buy the alright outright here. It's
Yeah, I
kind
think
of
you can't afford to fall behind. and
It,
you have quite a bit of draw.
it's sad because the deck's not really ready for wheelwright, but I think wasting another turn, not hoping for the best draw, is probably a really bad idea. But we'll have to see. We're probably gonna see a copper save here. Yeah, probably pick up a wheelwright, or I guess some kind of draw card.
Yeah, draw's the only alternative to wheelwright if you feel like you just need more consistency. But what does the draw actually do for you? Not a lot if you're not using it to play a wheelwright. So why would
The
they agree?
the draw mitigates your bad turns. Like
Gut prevention, right?
yeah, it more or less just makes your bad turns less bad on average. Is what draw does here. But yeah, kind of have to aim for the stars, as Zanderberg.
Yeah,
I would start already getting wheelwrights here. That should have been a wheelwright because you can always just draw it again and toss. Yeah,
yeah. Clearly could have. That would just cost a gain there.
and gold. Gold's all right too. I don't hate gold. I don't love gold either. I think you could keep building, but it's okay.
Yeah, it seems reasonable to me to gain, just get enough to hit 8 here, and then you use your wheelwrights just to stay consistent, and that's
Yeah.
enough to
If
win the
nothing
game.
else, if nothing else, gold I guess is a target for wheelwright. But yeah, I'm not. Gold would not have been my first choice, but
Yeah, I think they're not.
it
Sorry.
it's all right.
Yeah, I think they're not quite consistent enough for the gold just yet, where they're actually able to discard wheelwrights consistently. But I
Yeah,
don't, I don't see it as being quite as egregious as Steph does. Although I'm also inclined to agree with Steph.
yeah, yeah. I mean, whatever. Uh, hmm. Yeah, Zanderberg is hmm. Not looking in a good spot. It's looking really bad for this game. It kind of started immediately with not top decking Sentry. Kind of went about how I would have expected.
Yeah,
Probably
yeah, I think so. They're,
Zanderberg just missed it. I think sometimes you miss the landscapes.
yeah, when you can top deck a Power Five Trasher like that, it's just kind of it's mandatory more
Oh,
or less, and even
Zanderg.
the.
I'm sorry. I keep thinking like Mark Zuckerberg. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna let you keep. I thought it was
Okay,
you're
Zanderg.
just freestyling.
No, I was not. I was not freestyling. I just read it wrong. Oh, oh man. I'm sorry, Xander. Um,
But yeah, Zanderg is not in a good spot here. Certainly,
yeah.
just taking the gold.
And even hits the okay, so we're apprenticing the wheelwright, and then we mason a hunting party. Oh, jeez. Ugh. Yeah. I had a league match, I think a week or two ago, where I was playing against J Nails, and I thought I was winning, and I forgot Fleet was. I just completely forgot about Fleet. And I'm like, wait, why is the game not over? And then I'm
I've
like, oh shoot, I just lost. It was so bad.
It is one of the worst feelings in the world
Yeah.
when like the game over screen doesn't happen after
Yeah.
you're like, what did I miss?
Yeah. It was
It,
it was really funny. Oh, yeah. Suffice to say, missing landscapes is unfortunately quite common. For
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, it's easy to miss. I think probably forgetting fleet is a pretty common one.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've done it before. I've at least 3 times had encampments returned to the pile on me and blown games that way.
Yeah. Gamesou's definitely underbuilding. There's no reason not to do the wheelwright freestyle. I also don't think it matters really. This game's over. Um,
Yeah. I
like
mean, you don't
Zan.
have the plus buy, so you don't need to build too big, but there's no reason not to just be perfectly consistent.
Well, it's not even that. You can use Necromancer Masons and Sentry and Spy and Wheelwright. You can set up mills and stuff with the Mason. Like you could
Right? You can gain an extra
potentially,
duchy.
yeah, you can gain an extra duchy, gain more than that one duchy in consistency. You could threaten piles at some point probably because there'd be hunting parties gone, destriers gone, wheelwrights gone. You can mill
Yeah.
provinces. There's just so much. Like this board's so dynamic. It's like deceptively dynamic.
Yeah, that zombie mason thing is sort of easy to miss as a really reliable source of flexible gains, which with the support here, it really is.
Yeah,
You can only play one a turn, but that's clearly the best terminal available, I think,
it
at a certain
is.
point in this game.
Yeah. Now, if Inventor were Bridge instead, would Bridge be better than the Mason or not? That seems interesting too. I guess you just play with
Yeah.
both. That's kind of an interesting idea as well.
Yeah, that's a tougher question. Then I would on this board, I think you'd be maybe inclined to play with the bridge as a source of true plus buy more, but you probably would, yeah, you'd end up using both and have the flexibility.
Yeah. Bridge probably would be better, yeah.
Just buy a bridge and apprentice it and play with 3 necromancers.
Yeah. Buying a province again. Zanderg. Surprisingly, the score is not like 1,000,000 to 0, although it feels like it.
It's all
Score is kind of close.
Zander is gonna hit 8 again as well here too. So at least for now, the pace is able to be kept up.
It's not, it can't be sustained, surely not. But it is funny. That's at least kind of close right now. Oh, and oh man, actually, that wheelwright is in the trash, and Xander is using it. It is a long shot, but maybe Xander can claw out of this one somehow. That would be interesting.
I mean, there's a hunting party and a wheelwright in the trash, and Xander does have, I think, 3 necromancers.
At least two. Yeah, probably three. I don't think.
Yeah, they have 3 in play right now.
Yeah, at least three. Gamesou has one in hand. I don't know if they have two. Oh, there's one in
Is that
exile. Yeah, so Gamesou just has the one. Okay. Yeah, that's a potential soft spot for Gamesou here, actually, because Gamesou just might think, oh, I just have to rush provinces as fast as I can. I don't need to do this fancy wheelwright stuff. Like, it just didn't cross their mind. Or maybe they didn't deem it necessary.
yeah?
So, I mean, first stud Zanderberg hits, that's it. But if Xander doesn't, did I just call him Zanderberg again?
You did, yeah.
uh, I meant to say Xanderg. I'm sorry. If Xander doesn't dud, which is certainly possible with Hunting Party, I mean that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, it's certainly possible. I mean, more than possible. especially with this hand that Zanderg is starting out with, that Zanderg will be able to keep up. And then if gamesou's not doing any of the extra gaining stuff, which he doesn't seem aware of, then Zanderg should be able to stay in it.
Yeah. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, this is looking like another province turn. Because the gold's in there. Zanderg should be able to find the gold guaranteed if they play Sentry first. Even if they don't, should just be a problem.
Yeah, they definitely have 8. The only question is how much extra goodies can they get with it? At least 1 or 2. No, at least 1, I suppose.
Yeah. Now the interesting thing we're gonna be watching to see if GameSu's paying attention to the mill stuff because yeah, stuff points out you buy a province here, kind of just die to mill and
Right.
province. But I almost think you just have to buy province here. Dutchy's not gonna cut it. GameSu will just buy another province, and then you're kind of really in trouble because you can
Yeah,
only
how
mill one at a
guaranteed is the
time.
mill on the other side? It seems pretty likely, but not
Oh, GameSu?
100%.
Oh, it's nearly 100%. All you have to do is toss wheelwright and then just rig up your shuffle so that Mason it's province. It's almost trivial.
Yeah, I guess with if you're overdrawing, it's
Yeah,
100%.
between Sentry Sifting, Hunting Party, and just a well-timed wheelwright, it should be guaranteed.
Hmm. And yeah, you can get it even if you don't overdraw. There's a number of other ways to get it.
Yeah.
But we'll see what Xander decides to do about that. I said you buy Duchy, you're also in bad shape with that, I would think.
Yeah, it's not you can't buy Dutchy here. I mean, really, you can't do anything in theory.
The old just hope your opponent messes up strategy, I suppose, is in play.
I mean, after seeing GameSu not go hard for the wheelwrights or necromancers, certainly it's possible. All right, we're gonna see if GameSu does the thing, or if it's even possible. I guess there might be a draw somewhere where you have to use necromancer to continue your turn.
Could be, although I don't imagine that it's this with Sentry discarding
No,
junk and then 2 hunting party plays.
probably not. Although I will say, you kind of do want the sentry, like, because wheelwright has to toss a card and then you gain another card. So you would ideally play your sentry to line everything up. So I'm like, with how little cards GameSu actually has, it's really not clear. Like, they only have the one Necromancer, so Sentry is like their only way of guaranteeing it. So already they might not have it guaranteed. Um, they tossed the one province because of Hunting Party.
I think this should now guarantee it as long as you,
They must see it
well,
now. You don't play Necromancer here. Yep, okay, they do see
yeah.
it. Excellent. That was a little clunky. That felt like, I don't know. Whatever, they got the win.
Yeah, there were some
Tech-
extra gains, some extra Mason stuff to be done there that wasn't done. But other than that, it was, they had the right start and that was enough there.
yeah, for sure.
I keep saying they. These are both he him players.
We are on to game 2. And we have, oh no, possession. Oh man, every time. Every
Here
time.
it is.
Every time
You
people
don't
thought,
ban it. Here it is.
yeah, every time.
So I'll see you guys next game.
No.
All
No.
right, I'll try and figure out what possession means here then, I guess, instead. I hope we see
Um
possession like 3 times.
I haven't played with possession since
I had to play with it in the Two Themes tournament. It was a nice time once, sort of. It was sort of fun once, and the other time it was, yeah, just degenerate as possession often is.
yeah. Uh yeah, this board's kind of funny. I mean, like surely you play with possession here. I can't imagine this is a possession skip board, but it's not that exciting either.
Yeah,
Surprisingly.
it's tough to play. There's no village here, right? So
There's
what are
Silk
you?
Merchant.
There's Silk Merchant,
Yeah.
and you can trash Silk Merchant, but so there's 20 villagers, right? Is the
Yes.
is the villages in the kingdom?
Yeah, there are those will of course eventually run out. And that's not enough. There also has to be not an obvious 3 pile. I don't see an obvious 3 pile. Silk Merchant will facilitate quick pile outs. There's Kiln. Like there's some enablers, but I don't see a second or third pile. So
Right, because none of the piles are non-terminal, so you
yeah.
can't imagine actually playing with a lot of any of them.
Yeah. And that kind of makes me almost like if I open 4-3, I would probably take Silk Merchant Priest. But 3-4, I might not even take the Silk Merchant. I might just take Silver Priest. I think trashing's a little more important than the cycling right now.
Yeah, I could see that. It's not like hitting 5 or
That
I mean, it
gold
is
is.
all that trade.
It's not, again, it's not the worst thing ever. I can see taking a gold, but I think I would have preferred a crew
Yeah,
or.
cruise the card I would have had circled as if I'm going to be playing with another draw
Yeah.
card here, other than maybe a Silk Merchant as well. Which usually you want to play with a draw card as a second terminal over a gold would be my
I would
thought,
have
even in a
even.
sort of nothing kingdom like this.
I would have even maybe thought about taking a Silk Merchant on 6 because the money doesn't split too well for gamesou. Because then you hit 4 and you can buy something else like a flagship maybe. Uh, okay, so Zanderg, okay, Silk Merchant, Silver, yep, looks good.
Gamesou's clearly just playing very close to money.
I
Another
don't,
gold buy.
I don't agree with that. I think they just saw 6 and they're just like, there's just nothing better to buy here. I want Dominate at some point. I don't know that I agree with that per se. Maybe, but it's kind of too early to tell.
Yeah, I think I'd prefer to get some draw cards up and then maybe actually just store up villagers and then use those to be able to hit dominate. Try to play more sort of good stuffish, even though I know that doesn't mean anything, but play more good stuffish than money-ish here if I can.
Money-ish these days kind of just tends to mean good stuff.
Yeah,
I
there's a lot of
think,
overlap there now, yeah.
yeah.
You so rarely play like 3 terminal draw card money like you used to do more commonly.
Yeah, for sure. The errata has definitely helped with that, as well as the new expansions.
Right. Yeah, both of those things are really pushed things towards playing with the kingdom cards, which is hard to argue with that being a good thing.
I really like Zanderg's approach. Just very, very patient, not taking gold, just taking Silk Merchant. Very good patience from Zanderg. I really like that in this game.
Yeah, I agree.
New expansions. DZ's here to tell us all about the new expansion, as they've been doing in other game chats apparently. Flagship Priest does look pretty good, Joe. Yeah, I would have played Silk Merchant Flagship as well, I think.
Yeah, it's nice to have the flagship down at the end.
Yes. Uh there's gotta be like, I would imagine I want a salvager at some point. Right? Because
Yeah, I could see
let's see you get
salvaging your silk merchants at some point, right?
not just that, but salvaging anything up to and like even including province.
Yes, you can hit
Because
dominate.
yeah. So you can hit dominate, you can mill. Salvager seems like a card you just cannot skip here.
Yeah, you want it in the middle to end game.
Mm-hmm.
I think pretty clearly, and exactly when the right point to get it is a little bit hard to say, but
Yeah. I
you
think
definitely want one.
at this point, gamesou is playing more money-ish, I think, yeah. The catacombs, the kiln, the golds, they're just trying to hit dominate. And
Yeah,
Zanderg is
this
trying to go for more control. Which I like the control approach more, but can Zanderg pull it off at a high enough level to catch gamesou? I don't know.
Yeah, the control is kind of nice, but at the same time, it's really difficult to actually manage these terminals so you
Mm-hmm.
can have turns and build up villagers at the same time.
Yeah. So Steph wants gamesou to province here, which we don't see.
Which instead we see a silk merchant. I guess I can see that sort of going into this new shuffle, wanting that villager in a
Yeah.
better better turn.
This is like one of those boards where it just someone will buy something. I'm like, yeah, that seems fine. Like, so, like nothing seems obviously wrong to me on this board.
Yeah, well, like Cardinal and Merchant Ship do, but those are still at 10, so no
I mean, I
no
don't even.
comment there.
You're gonna hate me, but I don't even hate the merchant ship. Like, I don't think it's great, but I also don't think it's terrible. It seems fine. We do see the first.
Yeah.
We see the first dominate gamesou.
Yep. Yeah, I see the dominate. It's not the worst merchant ship board, certainly, but it's also probably worse than like Silk Merchant or Flagship.
Yeah, for sure. So how
What about
about
possession?
um? I mean, no, it doesn't look bad at all. Xander can pivot into possession a lot easier than gamesou can. That's kind of the whole point of the control deck. Not just bad, horrible? Really? Why would it
I
be
think if it
horrible?
didn't cost it costs 6p, I think is the main thing that makes it horrible. You have to go so out of your
I
way to
don't.
put it in.
I don't agree.
And then you get to play it what Xander's almost out of villagers, so um
I
you're
don't
really
agree that
running
it's
in.
horrible. That seems completely wrong to me.
I agree fully for what it's worth. Just given the lack of villagers left on the board. And by the time you actually put it in your deck, I'm not sure you even get to play it once.
I mean, Xander's trashed more than gamesou has. And you can flagship possession, right? Does that work or not anymore? No,
Not
not it does
anymore.
not anymore. I mean, it doesn't matter. Possession's still pretty good.
You've got this issue now where you can get villagers off the silk merchants, but the only way to do it is to play a terminal.
Yeah. You see the potion from Zanderg.
You do, so yeah, we'll see the possession coming out next turn, maybe.
I would assume you just play 2 flagships here and just buy possession. Kind of nothing else to do.
Mm-hmm. You have no, but now you're down to no villagers, and right, you have no non-terminals. So Xander can't really have a turn.
That's not true.
Uh,
It's not true. You just have to start killing some of your silk merchants. Zanderg has plenty of
you'd have
those.
you'd have to have like a trasher and a silk merchant in hand though to have a turn
Yes, that's true.
and more draw.
Again, I don't think this is over at all.
Gamesou's deck is not incredible either, but I think
No.
Xander's deck is gonna still be a little bit ways away from really moving.
So gamesou can trash province here and buy dominate, if that's what they want to do. Oh wait, maybe they couldn't. Maybe they didn't have a villager. They didn't have a village. Okay, never mind. All right, we do see a province from gamesou, which does feel right at this point.
Mm-hmm. And with a good hand to maybe dominate next turn as well.
Almost guaranteed. You just have to hit 1 coin.
Mm-hmm. As long as they don't draw the 2 provinces.
I'm not convinced about playing the salvager. I feel like there are better targets for flagship to hit. Like
Yeah,
there's a
now that
priest
the
down there.
flagships are gone, it's very tough for Xander to get things done. So I think there is some sense to just restraining yourself from playing that salvager.
I think so, yeah. Like, what are you even buying here? There's nothing to buy. You're just gonna rebuy the silver you just trashed. You might as well just trash like copper at that point. I think.
Yeah, there's nothing really worth buying.
Yeah. Maybe we'll see an undo here. There's nothing. I can't see anything. Okay, a salvager. All right.
It's not too wild to see salvager buy. I think that's probably the best thing to buy. But yeah, Xander still has this is just a ways away from really having turns.
Mm-hmm. So gamesou doesn't hit dominate. I mean, you just province.
Yeah. Yeah, if Game 2 would have hit that dominate there, then it would have been very, very difficult to see Xander coming back. It's still fairly difficult to see, but that would have almost ended the game, in my opinion.
It still feels pretty bad.
Yeah, it's still not it's not going to come together for Xander.
It's already impossible. Hmm. It's not impossible, but it is not looking good.
Maybe if you stacked Xander's, I think there probably are some stacked deck shuffles where Xander could make it work, but even then, I'm not certain. Given these the game states. Well, I guess if you stack gamesous as well, you could do it. I imagine.
Yeah. I guess we're gonna see a province here. There's kind of nothing else to do.
Yeah, you're not going to see whatever else you buy. So even though the points piles aren't great to lower for Zanderg, you just have to take the points and hope for better things than this.
Yeah, okay. And is this game over before Zanderg even gets to see possession? That's kind of sad.
Indeed, it is. Well,
I
I
guess it
guess maybe not
happened.
once. It's half VP over, though.
No, not really. There's dominate.
There's just, yeah, there'd be one dominate left. I guess it's not quite half VP, but effectively, yeah, the game is over at this point.
Yeah. Well, I guess chat was right. The possession was terrible. I don't believe it. I still don't believe it. I would have found a build. I'm a true believer.
I would like to see the possession killed. I agree with that. Certainly the most stylish play at this point.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to win, which Zanderg is,
Yeah,
then
you just buy the estate here and cry.
yeah,
Actually, do you even? It probably doesn't.
yeah, just leave the coffer.
All
And now you get to
right.
possess this pretty terrible hand from
Yeah. You probably
the
just
other
skipped
side.
gamesou's bad hand and they're going to have a good hand. But, I mean, that's just the way it goes with possession.
Is
Oh, you even
possession.
drew some junk for them.
Yourself in a state.
Yeah. Typical. Well, there it is. All right. Well, that was fun. At least possession wasn't good.
Yeah, we can be sure of that there.
So gamesou is up 2-0 against Zanderg. We're on to game 3. Hopefully, we'll have a village.
How's first mate?
God damn it! I said I wanted a village.
How's first mate with no non-terminals?
I mean,
Except Will-O-Wisp. You
there
have
is
Will-O-Wisp.
first mate village. There's ghost. The flagship is like half of a village. It's kind of a village.
Yeah, I think a
Prince
flagship is more of like a conspirator variant than a village, but it sort of does that.
Princing Wisp. Oh god. Man, this is gonna be another bad one, isn't it? This is this isn't that great. This is not
Yeah, I mean, I
exciting.
guess.
There's like
Yeah,
nothing to
you're.
first mate other than Apothecary and Wisp. It's so sad.
Yeah, you're doing those. You might just be first. I mean, I guess you're for probably going in on wisps and trying to first mate them because if you don't play with deck control here, you lose.
Yeah.
But the deck
Okay.
control is so weak.
So, are you opening Exorcist Silver or Exorcist Secluded Shrine? Apparently, we're doing neither of those because Xandric took a flagship,
Yeah, apparently
which
neither.
I would prefer a potion to flagship. Like, it's Exorcist or potion, I would assume. Flagship, I don't know what that does.
Yeah, flagship in the open seems kind of strange to me. Yeah, you can definitely beat big money here playing the engine thing. But
I
it does require some finesse to do. There's no doubt
I
about
think
that.
the only reason you could justify flagship is if you're immediately going witch, and then you just hit them with a double. Maybe that's what Zanderg has in mind. It's wonky, but I mean, if you line it up, it works.
Yeah, it is. I mean, flagship opens, I think even when they're not great, have they always have a pretty nice high roll possibility like that.
Yeah.
Um, but I think the Exorcist to me in the open is super important. I don't know if I would have taken it with a shrine or a silver. Probably maybe a silver because I actually really want a flagship on that next shuffle, and if I open Exorcist shrine, I might not hit 4 again.
Yeah.
But
Gamesou's going for potion. That's so like I at least can see the potion. I guess I can see the flagship if I put my intuition away into like a treasure chest and throw it deep overboard into the ocean. I can see why flagship would work. Uh but I mean it can work. It is
it
possible.
can.
Yeah.
You just gotta believe in the shuffles.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So we see
This
both players
flagship's
play with
doing nothing
Apothecary.
now. Um
Flagship does nothing.
yeah.
No target at all
Nothing.
until turn maybe 8 at the earliest.
Yeah.
Well, they have an apothecary. Well, actually, who has the apothecary? Is it Xander or gamesou?
Gamesou. Gamesou has the apothecary. Xander got a potion on turn 3. Okay. Gamesou has the wonderful opportunity to trash one estate, take a counterfeit. Wait,
But instead takes an exorcist.
who has the other exorcist? Zanderg has an extra man. Okay. I'm just missing everything apparently.
It's easy to do when you're trying to talk about things too.
Yeah. Like the builds are just so different from what I expect that like it's really throwing me off.
Yeah, I
um
don't mind the apothecaries because
no,
the
the
wisp
apothecary
thing
is
is
good.
kind of slow and you need it, but the
Apothecary
other
wisp
stuff
is
has been kind of
great.
weird.
Yeah. I like apothecary wisp. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah, and then I
Xander
guess
hit the potion.
yeah, just take the 2 apothecaries now. That seems great. You can always rebuy potion if you feel like it's going to be worth it.
Uh okay. Um got confused by chat for a bit. It's like, wait, what? I'm like, what? Um, let's see. Okay, which was taken a couple turns back. Xander does line up flagship witch. Probably will get punished by drawing both apothecaries here. But okay, hey, that didn't happen, so that's good.
Yeah, that's pretty great. There's no doubt once you get started on the flagship witch thing, that's going to be pretty nice here because it's not easy to get those curses out. It's not extremely difficult, but it's not fast.
Yeah. That's not. I was going to say maybe a falconer here makes sense, but it's kind of awkward to trigger the falconer. Like it's okay. You can make a case for it.
Yeah, I could see it. This is actually a really difficult time of the game to sort of. I mean, this board I think overall is quite difficult. What the optimal build order is. Um,
Yeah.
I really don't know what you want to do on
I mean,
this.
you wouldn't take falconer now, but maybe you take a falconer later. I don't know. Seems okay. I think you take a falconer at some point. At
At
least,
some point, you a bunch of flagships seems nice to have, and more exorcists as well. So seemed worthwhile.
yeah. Is this first mate then? I don't know. Counterfeit
Seems a
again?
touch early.
Uh,
I
well, I
usually
know.
like the second counterfeit, but with the apothecaries, I'm not so sure.
I know a card I don't want. I don't want Corsair.
Yeah,
Let's,
Corsair should not be bought
let's not take
at any
Corsair.
point.
Okay, there's the Falconer. Okay, that's fine. I didn't see anything that really jumped out at me as like I absolutely need this for Zanderg.
Yeah, yeah, it's a little tough to play the
Ooh,
Falconer.
Prince.
Xander's pretty over terminal. The Prince is nice, certainly if you can get it on a Wisp early enough here, and then that your village problems become a lot easier to deal with.
Yeah, well, you have to draw a state here. You want the Exorcist to line up with the estate, so you're drawing a state here with the Apothecary. You're gonna hit 6. I don't know what you get at 6.
Hey, how do you draw the? Um, oh yeah, I see. You're just drawing an estate, leaving
Yep.
the. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then
I was
Exorcist will
trying to think of a
trigger
way to draw the Exorcist too.
Exorcist will trigger
Possible.
Falconer when you gain an imp, will-o-wisp, or ghost, because they're 2 type. That's why the Falconer's a little awkward. It's like a night phase.
Oh yeah,
Because
that's
ideally
a fine
you'd
time to play it.
yeah, ideally you would love to gain like a silver and then Exorcist sack it into like a imp or something, but or even a will-o-wisp. But it's just a little awkward.
Yeah, you prefer it's nice to gain and play, but the gain and play isn't strictly necessary, especially because you you need to be terminal. Right, terminals are pretty limited here for a while.
Falconer can gain and play a second Exorcist. Oh, you're right, it can.
Oh yeah, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, it is neat. I don't know how relevant that is, but it is nice to know. Uh, yeah, seems fine. I don't know. It's just like this board is weird. It feels wonky and slow. These are the kinds of
Yeah,
boards that I could lose because they're just not like order matters a lot. Having a really long-term game plan matters a lot. You can't just autopilot a lot of decisions.
yeah,
It's
you
kind of
have to be
yeah.
making like every turn is sort of a different way of thinking about your deck and what's good at that point. It's not just like a I need villages and draw and payload. It's more than that here.
And we're sacking the ocean now, which maybe that's fine. I don't know. I don't know. The awful part of Dominion when you have to use your brain. Eh, I mean, sometimes when you're playing ladder, it can be annoying.
Yeah, sometimes you're just wanting to just sort of go off the general feeling of having played Dominion before rather than genuinely having to think about it.
Yeah.
By sometimes, I mean like 80% of the time.
Yeah, sometimes I just want to channel my inner Xerix and make no decision longer than like a millisecond, you know? Like, that happens. It's
I haven't
fun.
watched Xerix play too much, but that's I like players that are just like, yeah, see what I believe in and buy it. No need for more thoughts.
I think I commentated a match with Xerix. I don't remember who it was with. It was with somebody, but that game was over in like an hour. It was so fast. It was so fast that it like I couldn't commentate anything. Like like by the time I got around to like saying what was happening, it was like two turns later. It was so fast.
Right. You can't like there are no time to analyze decisions because the players aren't doing it at verbal speed faster than that.
Yeah.
Gamesou misses this prince. That seems
Expected.
pretty both expected and sad.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the problem with Prince.
'Cause Wisp is the only target, right? So
Yes.
it's
Well, there's Imp
not that
too.
easy to line up.
There's
And
Imp as
Emp,
well.
yeah.
We get we're gaining a Falconer now. Zanderg has two flagships. I'm assuming one of them's gonna die this turn to Exorcist. Wait, we don't want to react to the Falconer? Wait, what?
Well, they're going to be able to flagship the Falconer because they had a flagship down. Although, they'll be able to double flagship the Falconer,
Okay, the flagship triggers. Okay, that's what. Okay, right. Of course. And they probably still don't want to trigger it. Yeah, that makes sense. Man, Falconer, how could you let me down? You're so awkward. Just like everything else on this board.
really is. Everything's awkward except for which plays.
Except for which
Those are the only.
plays. Yeah. The Titan Drake rule of thumb kicks into play. Some things never change, which is good.
Which remains good. We do see the Falconer played here, though, which is
Yeah.
interesting.
It's surprising. But apparently we're getting an Exorcist.
Yeah, I guess they're viewing
Multiple
the
Exorcists.
gains off Exorcists here. Both the Exorcist and the Imp and the Wisp you're going to get is seen as better than triple playing an Apothecary this next turn, which I'm not so sure about, but it seems defensible at least.
Why gain flagship over silver? Why have red curtains instead of blue curtains? I don't know. I think they're
Because
just
you
being
you
fancy.
foresee the end of the game, you do enough simulations of the game, you see that the end state's going to require an even number of flagships is better for you, so you buy it or you gain that instead of silver. I think is the right answer.
I think you gain flagship because it's funny. That's my reason.
It's cooler. It's orange. It's got a
Yeah,
lot of text on it.
that's a very J Nails answer. Uh, J Nails would take flagship. So, or maybe J
Potion,
Nails would take
yeah,
potion because he hates treasure.
I
I
do
don't know.
agree with Knave. Potion was the true stylish choice there.
Maybe.
It's the least expected option, which I think for me is just sort of always lines up with stylish in my mind.
Second prince. I don't know about the second prince. Is the second prince really necessary? Yeah. What if he draws two princes and like apothecary and like two dud cards and just doesn't find anything? Oh, that would be so funny.
I could see it happening.
What was that character from the Fairly Odd Parents, Timmy Turner? Like, please
Uh,
God, let this happen. It looks like it's
it's not
already.
maybe.
Yeah. Let's have this apothecary draw prince, reveal nothing. Please let it happen. It would be so funny.
It would be, and I believe it's going to happen pretty strongly. It seems
Yeah.
At least if I was playing and I had that hand, I would be fully resigned to it happening already and only pleasantly surprised if it didn't.
All right, I guess Ghost is playing Falconer. That's so boring. It's a sad Ghost. Guess you just gain 2 silvers and start thinking about province. I don't know. Which would have
Just
been
gain more
nice.
exorcists.
Prince would have been kind of funny. Um, the Ghost doesn't. Does the Ghost get set aside with the Prince? Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Maybe Prince wouldn't be the best one. I don't know.
Yeah, probably not. Well, especially because it could miss stuff at the start of your
Yeah.
hand, right?
Yep. Uh, which in
And Prince
anticipation,
is non-conditional. Yeah, the Prince Ghost could be like catastrophically bad.
I would just take a witch here as Zanderg in anticipation of the Prince working out. And Prince, of course, can't set aside a duration. He's first made on what? I don't know. Anything. All
You
right.
Wisp, I imagine, but the decks are still a little ways away from having enough Wisp to do that. Although there's quite a few Wisps gone. There's only 7 left in the pile.
Mm. All right. First
One of the
Prince.
princes. I'm going to choose to imagine that this is the second prince that just got played. The first prince is
Yeah.
still without a home.
Yeah, I like that. I like that interpretation. Um, Xander, what are you gonna do? Presumably, you princed the imp. I would imagine printing imp is just better than Will-O-Wisp.
Probably. It's not quite as consistent of a village, but you should have a pretty good chance of finding a wisp with your amp. Um, and you can get some flagships down too.
Yep. Uh, maybe Will-O-Wisp is better. It's not too clear. I'm just waiting for stuff to tell me which one is the correct one. No, I'm just kidding. Um, I mean they both seem
I think I'd
fine.
be tempted to do wisp just because it seems like there might be a turn where I'd regret having the imp instead of the wisp, but
Yeah,
the draw that you could easily regret not having the draw too. So
that's
um,
also true.
it's a tough decision.
The other thing is, you can like flagship if there's a flagship in play. It's pretty nice. Maybe it is just Wisp, but Xander has decided it will be Imp, which is fine.
Yeah, see,
Nothing wrong with it.
the nice thing about hard decisions is that it means that neither one of your decisions can be that bad.
Or
So
that good.
or that good. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a day in the life of Prince.
This really is typical Prince. Like you have to, where you have to play with it, and it doesn't behave. You don't have to play with it here, but it does seem optimal to play with at least a little bit of it at some
Yeah.
point.
Okay, so now both players have some semblance of deck control.
Now on turn 14, with only
Uh,
4 curses drawn. Not a comment on their play. It's just this. This is a very slow developing kingdom.
this has been emblematic of the last two boards, really. Like, okay, now you have villages, but it's still very awkward. And to hit the potion. Okay.
Yeah, this has been the most villages we've seen of the 3 kingdoms, which is a little
Yeah.
wild.
So who bought the first mate? Zanderg bought the first mate. See, now that you have a prince down, first mate really doesn't make sense. I'm very confused by the first mate.
It does seem like flagship is almost the best target after you have the prince down.
Yeah.
But you have to do it early enough because you're still not going to be trashed. You're playing with all these exorcists and everything.
All right. So God Hand would be like you draw nothing but flagships in first mate. You find your witch and just give them all of the curses.
Yeah,
That's
that'd be
like,
nice.
yeah.
It's a little wild to me that there are still so many curses left. I mean, I understand there's a lot else you need to be doing here, and they've been doing it, but the curses seem really important to have passed out, and half the pile's still there on turn 15.
Yeah. Again, I kind of just want witch. Yeah. I would start taking wisps over imp though.
Yeah. Then you have to switch back to imps before the end of the game because the wisps are going to run out.
Yes. Apothecary being used as a cartographer but without discarding. Yeah, pretty much. It's nice with the will-o-wisps. It reminds me of the long ago Steph showed me a kingdom and he was trying to like get me better at the game. So he showed me a kingdom and it had native village, it had apothecary, and it also had wishing well. And he challenged me to beat him playing like some standard money deck or something. And I did not have the vision to see apothecary, native village, and the wishing well. So I lost. I don't know why, but
Yeah.
I still remember that.
Yeah, that's sort of I feel like that's sort of a like a back in the day sort of iconic, like, oh yeah, you don't think you have the components, but you actually have like from deck uh, you know, trashing basically with Native Village,
Yep.
and you have the lab draw basically with the Wishing Wells. And yeah, you have to add the apothecaries, but apothecaries good early, and if it's doing that stuff late, then it's really actually quite efficient.
Yeah. Gamesou's deck looks. Whoa, Corsair. We're buying Corsair. What? I don't know about
Uh,
Corsair. Maybe it's fine.
I
One-on-one
don't.
coaching with Steph. I wasn't Juniper back then. It was like 5 years ago. It was so long ago. It was forever ago. Yeah, I'm still the same person. Yeah. Well, no, I'm not. But
Well,
anyway.
no one's the same person in any two
Yeah.
moments, but that's another topic.
Yeah. Gamesou again feels kind of ahead here, but this
You have to
does feel
find the
like the
person.
closest Xander game for sure. So I'd be fishing for this witch right now with the wisps. So get one flagship down, play a wisp. Seems fine. Okay, sure. Apothecary for sure. There's at least one flagship down there, right? I'm pretty sure there's at least one flagship down there.
Yeah, I'm not certain that there is.
I thought there
And
was.
four out there.
Oh my
Yeah, they
god,
only
there's
have
no flag.
four.
Okay, well in that case, why are we not flagshipping the witch? Uh,
Just curses.
Would have been nice to give gamesou some curses.
Sure would have been. But we'll be able to get cleaned up here really as much as they want to. Actually, to the point where they need to think
Yeah.
about maintaining economy a little bit.
I mean, I'm not even worried about that. That's another thing about the Corsair. Like, you could just gain silver with Falconer. Like, who cares?
Yeah,
Like,
or just keep gaining flagships
yeah.
because once you're going, which you are here,
You,
flagships are
you
awesome.
can just counterfeit as silver you're gonna lose anyway. Like, it's I don't get the Corsair. I guess it's for the draw? I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't understand the Corsair at all. It's probably the worst card in the kingdom, actually. I'm gonna say it right now. I don't see a
Yeah,
worse card. Even the first mate makes more sense than a Corsair to me.
yeah, the Corsair seems pretty rough. I mean, there is some case to be made for it, right? Because other than the flagships, there's and the counterfeits, there's not any other way to make coin here. But
Yeah.
you can just.
I'm gonna say it
It
right
seems at
now.
least early to me. I'll say that at least.
I'm gonna say it right now. If Corsair was instead pirate ship, it would be better. Because you could always just play like 5 flagships and just pirate ship a bunch, and then it's not very hard to get like 3 coins off the pirate ship, and then suddenly you have a lot of like. I think pirate ship would be better on this board than Corsair. Like, that's saying a lot.
I'll leave the pirate ship analysis to you. I have dark, dark memories of pirate ship that I try to avoid.
Yeah. Opening pirate ship? No, absolutely not.
Do it.
I mean, if it hits their potion, sure, I guess, but then they're opening potion on an exorcist, so it doesn't really matter. Um,
I recommend
yeah,
opening pirate ship, having it miss coppers every time for your opponent, and then winning. Anyways, just that's anyways.
I
Um,
want gold witch or something like that. Maybe double silver witch because I just want a ghost of witch.
yeah, you certainly want a ghost. Probably a witch. I mean, I guess I could see ghosting a flagship, maybe.
Yeah, that's okay too, I guess. The only thing is like you can exorcist a wisp or an imp and get a ghost that way, but I don't know. I just want to curse my opponent. I don't love Gold Witch. I think Double Silver is better. Well, firstly because of the Corsair, but also because it's just more money. Your deck should be able to draw at this point, especially killing 3 curses. I have faith. This flagship stuff it's too much now. The deck's gonna start probably like maybe it won't, maybe it'll be fine, but it it feels kind of clunky.
Yeah, I don't mind the triple flagship.
You don't? Like, what
Um,
if you have a hand of like 5 flagships? What do you do then? You're
well, it could
just
certainly
gonna die.
happen. And you have to have a wisp or an imp in your starting hand. Well, I guess actually you have to have a wisp in your starting hand, or an apothecary, right? If you're Zanderg, so you've got a lot of cards that you can draw.
Wait, where?
But but
Oh my god, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. They do
certainly
have
you could have guaranteed yourself a turn, and you didn't do that.
they do have they can play the flagship first off of the ghost and then get 2 imp plays for free, but it's still like it's still
Oh yeah, that
okay.
should work out. Should work out
It
just fine. Yeah.
should, but maybe you'll draw more flagships and you can't play them with your imp and
Yeah, you certainly could draw 4 stop cards. It's in there.
six
Unlikely.
stop cards because
It's
you're gonna be playing the
oh, your ghost thing.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I you couldn't.
Yeah.
It's not you're not going to draw 6 stop cards.
Yeah,
That's getting
I
low.
don't know. The minion finds a way to punish you for your greed. That's one
That
thing
would
I've
be
learned.
you do have 6 stop cards in that in those 20, so you it's not impossible.
It is not impossible, yeah. Oh boy, Corsair. All right. Okay, gamesou. What have you got for us? Double province?
Looks like it.
Let's get serious, gamesou. Let's buy some green.
Let me get moving.
I'm not even sure double province is the play, but I don't know what else you're doing.
I think from gamesou's position, it's pretty reasonable to just try and end the game with points at this point.
Yeah, the only question is, gamesou's gonna not hit double pretty quick. You'd have to
Yeah, it's
sack
gonna
a
stop
gold.
working.
Yeah, but I mean, the game will probably be over by the time that matters. You can probably like, I don't know. We'll have to see. There's a way to get double province, maybe even a couple of more times. It's probably a moot point. Okay, there's
Yeah,
the
having these
wisps.
counterfeits really powers up end of game turns. But this will be a full draw for Zanderg.
Mm-hmm.
Do they gain the silver here too?
Yes, of
I
course.
guess.
All day. All day. Um, I would like to see some. I would like to see some flagship on Witch though. That would be that would be nice. There
Would
is no
be.
witch. Oh, they killed the witch? Okay.
Uh,
All right.
there is no witch indeed.
All right.
It's wild to me that there are four curses left on this board on this turn,
I mean,
and there
sure,
there will continue to be.
Game Stew would have to trash them, but you're drawing your deck anyway. I don't know. I might have wanted to ghost that flagship. I don't know why we're drawing there.
Yeah, now you have to buy something to ghost, which you might not have a ton of interest in doing.
You can just exorcist and exorcist. It's fine.
Oh yeah, yeah. Good point.
On the other hand, GameStop can just launch 4 curses at you now, probably. So maybe you don't want to do that. Just why you don't want to get rid of your witch. Uh,
Would have
whatever.
been nice to have to yeah, just to be the player passing out four curses, even if it can be
Yeah.
cleaned up.
That and you
Is
can't really triple province here because GameStop probably can triple. I haven't counted it. I don't know how possible it is. There's a goal, so that's 7 right there. Plus the counterfeiting, so that's 7.
I don't think gamesou has the ability to hit 24. They hit 17, I think, last turn, but they counterfeited
Yes,
a copper
and a silver.
um, and a silver.
Yep.
So
Yeah, they might not quite have it. Okay, you could probably triple. Sure, why not? Although, why we're not counterfeiting the silver? Okay, there we go. I mean, does it matter if you're just triple provincing? I guess you just keep a copper, which is pretty good.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's going to
okay.
be useful.
It's a surprise tool that we'll keep for later.
It's 2 coins right there.
Yeah, or keep both coppers. Yeah, you absolutely could keep both coppers. Certainly, Xander is going to have some amount of problems doing more after this turn. Those coppers would come in handy.
Yeah, I think the two keeping two would have been nice.
Okay, now we're interested in which again. I am so
No, we're not.
um
Not if it. That's a little bit of
what information reveal, yeah.
information. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's big too because knowing that gamesou can
If
gain a silver might enable a triple province from gamesou because they could gain an extra silver off the falconer that they draw again. So like
yeah,
that is a potential very dangerous undo to grant.
yeah, I would be. I would honestly be like I usually just grant undos. I probably would grant this one, but I would have no problems at all with someone saying that's I'm not granting this one.
Mm-hmm. Just promise to gain at least one multi-type, gains a Corsair.
Yes, if you've promised to get in the multi-type all day, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, I think you're well within your rights to not grant that undo. I would probably grant it, but if I sensed I would lose or not based off of that grant, I would not because I don't want to lose. I know, selfish of me. Um,
I would
okay.
deceive
Oh, it
myself
does.
into
It
thinking
doesn't.
I would be
Okay.
like
Hey, there we go.
discerning intention.
We gain the multi type. Okay.
We do gain the multi-type, so
Yeah.
all is well.
Trashing an imp for a will-o-wisp, which is kind of funny.
If I was gaining the multi-type, I would have put it in chat ahead of time to ease any decision making, but
Yeah.
certainly
Not sure when we're not killing the curse. I guess it doesn't matter. Except it kind of does, because what if gamesou gives you 4 curses? Uh,
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it doesn't matter.
So now the end game is fairly interesting here, really, because Zanderg got this small lead, but not able to triple again. uh,
Yeah.
I think under any circumstances.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, we're undoing again.
I
Well,
think
I
it'd be
mean, I
really
guess you
funny if we
now
don't
you
gain the
know the
multi-type.
now we know the Falconer's there, so uh
This would honestly, this is even more suspect. This if it ends up not gaining a multi-type after this,
I
but
think I need to
okay,
trash
yeah,
the Exorcist instead.
I don't, I don't think that Zanderg is actually being suspect in any way.
No. I don't think there's anything suspect about it. It's just kind of annoying. It's like having to grant multiple undos in a turn. It just it's like, man, you undoed. Just just take a second and think. Or and like you make a decision and then you think. Uh it's like I don't know. Anyway, it's fine. It's fine. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, not a big deal, but yeah, nicer to not have to do as many undos if you can avoid it.
Yeah.
It was a very nice discard all 3 provinces for Zanderg on the
Yes.
Ghost.
It was very nice.
So
And
now
and
Gamesoo's going to draw up.
all these undos have confused me too. I thought Xander had a witch for a second. Okay. Does not
Yeah,
have a
for a
witch.
second they did, or he
Yeah.
did.
Yeah. gamesou has a bit of a money problem. So that's 6.
Really can't
6
afford
and
to buy
10.
provinces, right?
No. Although it's not like Xander has a bunch of money either. I mean, Xander has all the flagships. That's a lot of money, I guess. Yeah, this
Yeah, I
is
think
not even.
Zanderg has double pretty easily. At least you have to play that way.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna have a really awkward dance now, where I guess gamesou just kind of builds to triple without killing any money. I don't know.
But if you build to triple without taking any points, then Xander just takes two provinces and the game ends.
Yeah, not
By
really.
like,
That's
well,
not true.
the game wouldn't totally end, but I would think you're down 18. That's tough to make up, even if you build a bunch here.
You wouldn't be down 18 if not necessarily.
Because if gamesou just buys double duchy here and doesn't trash any money, like they're gonna be well within the means to double duchy province. And they also have Curse with Witch that Xander doesn't have. Oh, we're doing this?
It's true, although they've chosen to just go for it here rather than play for another turn, it looks like.
What?
Just take points. That seems like a fairly big misplay to me. Yeah, you really needed to play for.
You don't want to lose the counterfeit split like this.
Yeah, now your finish is you don't have it.
Yeah.
Um, you do put Xander in a bit of a tough spot, but Xander can just take duchies back on you now, and then you're right back where you started, except Xander's got the better deck.
I don't know if Xander can take 4 duchies. I don't think they
I don't think you
can.
need to take four, though. I think you just take two. Maybe you can. Xander can maybe even take province. Is that crazy? Can gamesou even double anymore?
Um,
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Maybe if there's a Falconer reveal in hand, they could. But
Yeah, you would take that.
okay. The only other thing to consider here is gamesou can play 2 flagships potentially, play a witch, and just dump a -3 on Zanderg. Zanderg also has curses to trash still, so their score is not entirely accurate.
Yeah, that 3 point last turn cursing could definitely come into
Yeah,
play.
that's the big thing to consider when thinking about lines is the curses still there. That and the duchy's running out. So gamesou could single province, empty the curses, and that could be a win because that's a 9 point swing. So you got to be careful about taking 4 duchies.
Mhm.
It's a trap potentially. I haven't calculated it quite, but it is something to keep in mind.
Yeah, I'd be really concerned about emptying the duchy pile. Certainly.
And in fact, you even if you take 3 duchies, it might not be enough.
If you play a bunch of
Three.
flagships on Falconer, can you maybe get to 24 here as Xander?
Ooh. Ooh. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Oh my god, yeah. That would probably. I think this just wins.
And this is what we're gonna see.
Holy. I did that. I completely missed that.
I completely missed
Wow.
it until the moment I saw it.
Wow. Yeah, this is it. Very, very nice win. Very nice win. Wow. Holy moly.
That was a cool kingdom.
That was a cool kingdom. What a finish. Wow. Okay. On to game 4. First victory for Zanderg. 1-2.
Look at all the villages.
All of the
Oh my goodness.
villages. So many villages. Treasurer Sheepdog. Oh,
So many
there's
villages and you don't even need them.
the third Cardinal game. Yeah. Yeah. I'm happy neither of them have a 5-2 so we don't get a turn 5 resign. I don't think either player would resign. Honestly. If Zanderg was that type of player, he would have resigned on the first game. And I
It's
don't
true.
think gamesou is that kind of player either.
But the recruiter open can definitely be pretty lopsided. There's a lot of life on this board. I think the 5-2 recruiter open isn't quite as game over as it normally would be, although there's no doubt it's really strong.
Um, is this just spell scroll sweepstakes? Like whoever gets spell scroll first just wins on the spot?
Yeah, because treasurer, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you still have to have a functional deck, but yeah, that's so much better than any other payload that,
Yeah.
yeah, it's really important to
That
do
being
that.
said, this is just recruiter. I wouldn't even delve for a silver. Because, I just want to play recruiter.
You don't really need the money actually until, well, you don't really need the money ever because you're going to be paralleling stuff to get buys, and then you don't
Yeah.
need silver in that deck.
And it's kind of really funny, but this Cardinal is just going to give gamesou such a massive advantage, skipping all of these estates. Like, yeah, Caroling looks better. Hammer's actually really nice. Getting the sheepdog chain going is pretty
Yeah.
cool. Getting
And then of course
villages.
Cardinal, right, can exile their loot. So
Yeah, that is actually no, because loot doesn't cost
oh,
6.
it's 3 to 6. Okay, never
Yeah,
mind. Yeah.
yeah. You're thinking of
I was just
you're thinking
wrong.
of gatekeeper. You're thinking of gatekeeper.
Again, yep,
Gatekeeper could
yep,
do
I was
that.
thinking Gatekeeper.
Yeah. Okay, treasurer. This
Hammer
just
is awesome.
it is. I like hammer here. I would just take a sheepdog. Sheepdog, second recruiter. Life is good.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no recruiters, right?
Yeah.
Sort of nullifies the need to play with villages early on.
Yep. Cycles. Treasurer doesn't cycle. You don't really need money that much because you already have plenty of it. That is to say, treasurer isn't bad, but I think recruiter is better here.
Yeah, I think 2 recruiters before a treasurer, um, or probably makes sense, but it's reasonable
Maybe
to take a recruiter than a treasurer.
potentially even rabble might be better than treasurer right now.
Because it cycles, which is more important for you. You actually kind of want to draw stuff dead and
Yeah.
peril.
And it's kind of iffy. Like treasurer is probably still better than rabble, but at least it seems close.
Yeah, I think the main point is that usually a lot of the stuff that treasurer is good for is not nearly as valuable here, even though
Yeah.
treasurer is still very, very good card.
Gamesou with the sad insignia. Uh, a lot of. I know Lemon Spawn would absolutely lose his mind. He hates insignia. With
Oh, insignia.
he hates he hates insignia more than the AI from I Have No Mouth and Must Scream hates. Like,
Even more than like doubloons.
yeah. Well, no, I think Lemon Spawn might like hate doubloons more. I don't know. I don't know.
Just the no plus buy loot.
Insignia is not the worst loot. No way. That's not
Yeah,
true.
top decking's good.
The top decking here is pretty nice. Doubloons is definitely worse. Asking Lemon Spawn what their favorite loot is. Their favorite loot is one with buy on it.
But it's Amphora.
I
No
don't
reasoning.
I don't think it's Amphora. I don't think anyone's favorite loot is Amphora. I would really like to start seeing some sheepdogs here from Xander. Chalice is not the worst. Well, it depends. There's some boards where figurehead's the worst, honestly. So you only get to see it every other turn.
Yeah, the boards where you're really ramping, you don't need the draw. Figurehead's pretty bad,
Yeah,
but
figurehead's pretty
there's
awful.
a lot of times where figurehead is really nice.
Yeah. There are a lot of candidates. It just kind of depends. I wish there were a more exciting answer than that, but there isn't. Second insignia is pretty bad. Yeah, unless you're on a upgrade board or a develop board, that's pretty okay. Doesn't matter. It's just a
And
card to
it's
kill.
only is it's still the worst card possible in this scenarios, but at least then the worst card possible is just better.
Yeah. That insignia value. Yeah, see? Insignia is not that bad.
I think insignia is quite good. I
Yeah,
mean,
me too.
if you don't need the plus buy, um, and it's like really quite great a lot of the time.
Yeah. Like if Insignia had plus buy, people would be saying it's like a top 3 like
Oh,
immediately.
easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Tiara on steroids. Like people
It's
love
like a tiara
Tiara.
that always hits trolled.
Yeah. Insignia makes me click don't top it. Yeah. Just yeah. Okay. So,
That is pretty rough. Having to click don't top deck on province when the pile's empty.
yeah. Well,
Well, we still have Zanderg here who has built quite a bit
Delve does that
without any
too.
plus buy, and
Sorry,
I
Tiara.
guess deciding not to keep going on perils. We're just in a province.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I think you can definitely keep building and taking loot for sure. Yeah.
There's plus buy.
There is plus buy for gamesou.
I would think that will be enough to let Game 2 catch up, although it's going to be
Yeah.
fairly close.
And Xander needs buy too. Like Hammer's nice, sure, but it's not buy.
Yeah, you can produce maybe some annoying cardinal stuff out of it, and Xander's going to hit 8 every turn without issue, but
Yes.
that's all that Xander's going to do.
Yeah. Just just taking province there on that turn, just like it's such a it's a blunder. Like now you either province now and you just lose because you're not gonna catch somebody who has buy, or you concede and go, okay, well, I made a mistake. Now I have to peril for a loot, and now you're just out of ordering. You have a province in your deck. Could have bought 2 cards here. Now you're not. It's just slower. But the
Yeah,
correct play is to just peril here.
agree with all that. I think you need to bite the bullet at this point and just say let's end this vassal, which I think Xander is probably going to do, but we'll see.
Watch watch this peril just be like, okay, okay, all
Goat.
right, yeah. Prize goat is quite a good one. All right, I still would not take province as gamesou, but like I just
Yeah,
want to keep
I
building.
would still want to build more, even if I'm just taking like a second treasurer,
There we go.
but more
Finally,
draw.
someone sees sheepdog.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that the players haven't really bought draw yet. It is fairly early still. I guess it's turn
Yeah,
10.
it is only turn 10. Yeah, I don't know about playing that cardinal. Like you really want peril. I guess that's a signal that Zanderg is just gonna province again. No. Okay, now the first province is really confusing.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. Xander's just conceding the province was a mistake. Okay.
which seems, it's good to, at least once you buy the early province, to not feel like you
Yeah.
have to keep making the mistake of greening when you realize that you're better off not doing it.
Yeah. You don't have to keep watching The Rise of Skywalker or whatever terrible movie I don't know the new terrible movies are. It was like the
That
last
sounds.
movie I saw in theaters. It was so bad.
I didn't even know it existed, but that
Yeah,
sounds terrible.
it is terrible. It- um, there are more Star Wars trilogies. Yes, you know that. All right. Here for the sudden sequel bashing. Yeah, well, if Star Wars was worth talking about, I would bash it. But it's not worth talking about. It's not even worth my time. Are we gonna see a province now from gamesou? No. Okay. I don't know about all those
Lots of delve.
silvers. That seems like a bit much.
Yeah, that seems
And losing
like you
both
could end up.
recruiters with only one villager, this could get spicy now. Zanderg might actually get something here. Although, on the other hand, Zanderg only has one villager. You vassal trying to hit a plaza here? No. Although, holy cow, that worked out. Oh, if there's a recruiter down there, yeah, you definitely need a vassal. Because it's
Yeah, so
guaranteed.
they.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they knew what they had down there, that was absolutely correct.
Alright, time to sack Hammer and get it back with Treasurer. You don't have to think about villagers ever again. Right? Pretty sure.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, we're killing our rabble? I don't know about that. Yeah. That or they really want to kill a copper. Which I guess you can't rule out. Oh, why are we not sacking this cardinal? I want more loot.
Yeah, I think once more in the loot pile seemed reasonable to
Yeah.
me. Because Xander's deck is really quite good
It
at this point.
is. It's very good.
You can build the triple or just double plus stuff.
Yeah.
Like
Just
double plus,
double.
just build to 18, where you're paralleling something. That seems pretty great.
Yeah, not this half measure stuff, though. Province Rabble is kind of weak. Hmm. Yeah. Well, it's not like gamesou has much to kill with Peril. The hammer put in a lot of work for Zanderg, even having
Yeah,
targets.
the hammer
So,
was huge, even though it was never used to gain a sheepdog.
yeah. I mean, even if it did. There's some synergies you could pull off with it, like killing a loot, gaining it back, but okay, we're buying sheepdog. I'm presuming gamesou wants to start saying more silvers. I don't agree. Because now in this race, Xander just wins the race.
Yeah,
Xander
Xander
just
doubles every
happily,
turn
you just,
easily.
yeah, you just happily double province now. Yeah, this seems over.
Yeah, there's really with the recruiters. I don't think there's any hand other than maybe a 5 province hand at the end, something like that. That would.
Yeah, something crazy. Uh, only thing maybe is as well as maybe you run out of villagers, which should never happen, but you miss the loot interaction the first time, you might miss it the second time.
Yeah,
Like sacking another rabble with recruiter would be potentially a disaster.
Yeah, I think you really want to keep those 4 Rapples in deck at this point. Just be buying green.
Yeah, for sure. They see it now?
It's possible they're thinking about it, but they don't.
Uh,
Yeah, they must
no.
just not. Yeah, just don't.
They
Just aren't
just,
considering it.
yeah, that's too bad. Maybe they just want key. I don't know. But even then,
Could be.
like,
Yeah, you'd be better off. I would have to think that they're not considering it.
yeah.
It's an easy thing to miss. Like you have to remember all the options for treasure and
And Zanderberg's still winning. It's like, it doesn't change anything. But now you have to go into your coffer collection a little bit more than maybe you'd like.
yeah, it's less comfortable. You could have easily played that vassal and you hit some more numbers and been just fine. But this seems okay too. In the long run here, I mean, you're gonna draw again and you're ahead enough. And gamesou's deck is not very good either.
And if you're considering that line, you probably would have had to have hammered a silver too. Otherwise, you don't even get double next turn.
Hmm.
Right? Maybe, no, maybe you're fine. Maybe you're fine. You'd have to line up plazas though.
Yeah, if you don't get plazas played, which you don't have that many treasures, you might be in trouble there in terms of
Yeah.
doubling, but not probably not in any real trouble in terms of winning the game. But more than you would be if you just yeah, only had to use 2 coffers here.
Okay. Well, gamesou only has one buy. So, as long as you know that, rebuild.
Gamesoo has the 2 buys, right? They have the jewels.
They have the jewels and insignia. They don't have a third buy. There's only 4 loots
Right.
gone. Zanderg has hammer and prize goat.
Yeah, it's really hard to come back
It is. It is. Yes.
without especially
Even the
without the buys.
even the rebuild isn't that bad. It's kind of like a secret buy. Because now Xander can threaten triple, so gamesou kind of can't even do anything now. Um,
Yeah. Gamesoo's in a really tough position to see how he could win from.
yeah, gamesou might just have to double here and just hope it works out. Maybe not. Maybe you just single and then peril. Okay, GG. Kick your
And
head right on time.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
peril and then resign. Seems like the play.
Yeah.
And you can province and sort of make sure that Xander is gonna have a turn, but
Again with the silvers, I don't know what they're doing.
at least some draw.
Yeah, this is just
So you can hit 29 the 2 buys.
okay. What about Rising Sun? You know everything about Rising Sun. I know nothing about Rising Sun and also no milling. Yeah. It doesn't matter. Xander can still just double. And guess what? gamesou can't do anything because they're not even second player. So, haha. Yeah. I mean, I have no opinions on Rising Sun because I know nothing about Rising Sun.
I know
There,
nothing about
there
it
are
either.
there are cards that leap from your deck. I have no idea what that means. It sounds stupid, but like I'm sure there's a clever way it's being done. So, like it just sounds like stash, and I kind of hate stash. Makes me click on things a lot unnecessarily, and I'm sure it's more clever than Stash, so I don't have an opinion on that. Prophecies, it sounds like that one thing that that last footnote did in his seasons thing. Um I kind of don't want to say it in case I'm misremembering and it was an idea that because I did at one point play test, so I don't even feel comfortable saying that. So never mind. Okay, anyway, Zanderg is completely winning. I like that Det's returning. That's cool. Det and some other mechanic events, right? Events are also returning.
That returning is the one thing I knew.
Yeah.
I'm excited about it.
So
I just
Zanderg
hope
is
it's not
clawed
attack.
back with a victory. And now we are tied up. And now we are on to game 5.
Yeah, tied 2-2.
Yeah.
So if Xandrig's able to 3-3 this or better, that will pretty much seal up at least a promotion spot for Xandrig.
Really?
Um,
I forgot to look at the
Xandrig's
standings.
in first and gamesou's in third right now. Single T's in second. And there's a few
Wow.
more games left, but it's pretty close to the end. And so if gamesou beats Xandrig, then there's a chance that gamesou could get up in those top two spots. Or even a 3-3 and a strong result against Single T could
Easy.
work for gamesou.
Maybe nobody wants to talk about Rising Sun because if they do, they get sad that they can't play with it. Have you considered that?
I will talk about it a lot and annoyingly as soon as there are cards for me to
Yeah,
actually talk about.
absolutely. I'm kind of avoiding Rising Sun for that reason. Like I'm reading about it, sure, but like I'm very excited about it, but there's just kind of nothing for me to look at, and it just reminds me that I don't have it. So it just kind of annoys me every time I hear about Rising Sun. There's no village on this one.
Uh, yeah, we only got one game with some nice true villages.
No, the third game had villages that
It
come out
did,
within the
yeah.
next 8
Well, it had
years.
yeah. The third game had sort of finicky villages, the
Yeah.
rather than the first two, which had more like none. Um, but what is this? Is this
This is a board where you don't buy Seize the Day early.
not an open seize the day board?
Well, that sounds bad no matter what you do, but I remember for a while VR Smith would buy Seize the Day for like tempo reasons.
I used to
And
do that,
I think I
but I wasn't
talked
any
VR
good.
Smith out of it because I'm like, wait, wouldn't you just rather have an extra turn that's just like a real extra turn on like turn 11 instead of just nothing? And they're like, oh shoot, I didn't even think about that. Like, wow, I can't. Wow. Um, that
Yeah,
was
I had the same sort of like line
yeah.
of thinking with seize the day, where I used to buy it early for tempo all the time, thinking it was okay, and yeah, whoops.
You can do that with Journey, so there's definitely no temptation for
Oh
Seize the
yeah, and
Day.
you want to do that with Journey a whole lot,
Yeah.
but there's not a whole
Um,
lot to do here at the end of your turn.
that's not necessarily true.
You're just playing treasures, is sort of what I mean.
There's Werewolf Attack. There's Silvermine.
I would classify Silvermine as not a whole lot to do, to
Yeah.
be honest.
Well, they, you know, it's trying its best. It's
I
a
guess
worse
you do.
Explorer, but you know, actually, that's not even true. It can be better than Explorer.
It's non-terminal, right?
It also
But
can gain any treasure.
oh yeah, to gain your ropes and stuff.
Yeah, but it is pretty
Um,
terrible.
It's
usually.
pretty bad. Maybe you play with it here though. What are you like? I don't even really know what this board is. Is it it's just money-ish? Like Patrol Werewolf?
Silvermine research the
Silvermine?
only way to draw. No.
After
Back check false. There's secret passage, tucking away green, playing patrol. Yeah, that's pretty much the only way to draw. Yeah. Um, there's not a lot of great stuff to do here. Which makes me think you just play some combination of like werewolf, money. But you definitely
yeah.
want to build. You want a forager in your deck.
Yeah, like the thinning and the stuff's good enough that you want to do what these players are doing and start with the research sentinel stuff. But
Yeah.
then yeah, you're just transitioning into money, which maybe because you're thin money, Silvermine is actually kind of good.
Yes, I think Silvermine's pretty good here.
Sky's Gift also
Yeah,
better
seems
than
okay.
normal here.
Yeah, for sure. Although once the druid isn't gaining golds anymore, what are you even doing? Because
Yeah,
you
it's
do have to
nothing.
toss 3 cards for it to gain gold. And if you're researching from a standard hand of 5, you can't just druid and get a gold. So you kind of need more cards in hand than 5 to do that. Forager on its
Yeah.
own is not really building, no, but it's the counterfeit effect or the capital effect in that all you need is one big turn at the end. So you can skip Forager all day going, yeah, I'm fine, and then they just outmaneuver you and buy an extra duchy and win. So you kind of can't skip Forager here.
Yeah, you could get to if you just chose not to build at all here, you could pretty easily have one player get to 5 coin foragers, so they're playing a good amount of them.
Yep, that too. Forager's like capitalism. You can't skip out on it, even if you hate it. Kind of have to just play with it. Um, real life capitalism, not Dominion capitalism. um,
I was thinking Dominion capitalism. I
yeah,
was very lost.
I was like, I was like, yeah, not that one, the other one, the one that gets people sad, that one.
I'm glad that I've mended my brain to the point where if it's a Dominion word or a real life word, I first assume Dominion word.
Yeah. Um. All right. Are we at a point where we're already thinking about not trashing so fast to Sentinel? Because once you run out of fuel with the Forager, it's a little bit iffy. Sure, there's Silver Mine. Maybe that's enough. Maybe you just run multiple copies of Silver Mine and you're fine. Because you can gain a potion
Yeah.
off of it. So,
Yeah, I think the second silver mine's actually a pretty nice forager food
yeah,
card.
for sure. Last turn of the game, you can kill a Silver Mine. And net yourself the same amount of money you would have had already. Because Silver Mine would have just gotten silver and you killed it. So, man, that's kind of funny.
But if you have multiple foragers, then
Yeah, then
bonus.
yeah. If I was kind of thinking 2 foragers when I said the silver mine thing. You'd need 3 foragers to kill silver mine on the last turn for it to be worth it.
Yeah, the problem becomes hand size here, right? How are you getting the hand size up to do all that?
Research, but then you're out of cards to draw too. So
Yeah, you're
yeah.
doing research draw, which is always a finicky time.
Yep. This is a very awkward board. Yeah, Xander may have overtrashed. Definitely overtrashed.
Yeah.
Like, what
Yeah,
are
with
we
his
doing?
research draw, you're not Hey, this is not working out real well.
Yeah. Hmm. I will say, if you have $7 and your
Sorry,
forager,
PZ.
yeah, that's all right.
Right.
If you have $7 two buys and you buy a forager and a journey, and you kind of draw everything, you can just play the forager by itself and buy a card. Yeah, okay, no. Nope, that's not worth it unless you have 5 coins from the forager. Uh, well, I would imagine Zanderg is ahead here because they have the silver mine and gamesou doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah, they were a little over trashed, but they still have a better deck position. And right with the silver mine makes being over trashed pretty easy to recover from.
Yep, and we're seeing a werewolf and not silver mine, which given gamesou's deck, that might make sense. All right. Are we just going to province now?
Or silver mine journey?
Maybe. Silvermine Journey. Secret Passage seems okay. I'm not sure what's down there. I guess you would be journeying so you can just gain an extra card. I guess you could gain a potion here and buy Apothecary, which could be nice to pick up some coppers. I actually kind of like that line, especially since you can sack the potion with Forager. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
The
the
Apothe-
apothecary draw is the easiest way to increase hand size here, I think.
yeah. Yeah, this is very clearly potion into Apothecary. For sure.
Sanders also got a bit of an issue now where the deck is pretty thick all of a sudden.
Yeah, that is a serious concern. GameSoup could outmaneuver if they have high treasure density.
Yeah, I think this game is certainly far from decided.
Yeah. Okay, there's the silver mine. Zanderg
I
has
imagine
two
this will be.
foragers. Well, I mean, you have to research silver, presumably.
Yeah, I would imagine that just needs to be what you're doing to get your deck back under control.
Yeah.
That's the only draw that Xander has at all.
Yes. And we're doing Journey, which, if you buy Province here, that's fine. Guess we're just gonna buy Province. Yeah.
Yeah,
Seems
it seems
reasonable.
competitive to me to just do the silver mine into province thing instead of messing with the apothecaries and the foragers.
Yeah.
But
The one
I would have
apothecary is
been really tempted to play with apothecary.
the one apothecary that one turn really lined up well. But yeah. Someone eventually is going to remember Seize the Day exists and it's gonna like pivot the game completely.
I'm now almost sure that I've played games where both of me and my opponent have completely forgotten about Seize the Day for the entire game.
Yeah. It's
I don't
definitely
imagine we'll see that here.
I don't think so. I think both players will play.
You play Seize after a journey turn, you can, right? Seize doesn't care about.
Yes. That is correct.
Could be weird, but you can do it.
What if you buy Journey on a Cease turn?
I think that doesn't work because the journey says not a third turn in a row. And that would be a
Yes,
third turn in a row.
it would. And I think you would lose your Seize the Day too. So don't do that. That would be bad.
It would be bad, seems right.
Yeah.
There's your answer for what you do with the druid.
Yeah. There's a universe where you kill province with research, buy Seize the Day, and do like double province to win. As
Oh
like a
yeah.
guarantee. There's a universe where you do that.
Oh yeah. There's very cool ways to end this game.
Yeah.
That for sure.
Or even just kill a silver mine. You know, like that's relatively close. It gets your forgers up too. I don't know about killing the silver mine there though. But maybe it's fine. Okay.
Xander doesn't know either.
Hmm.
Yeah, you're sort of in a tough spot as Xander because you're thinking, do I trash these silvers for only 2 coins each? But the deck composition of Xander is pretty much just foragers and silver mine and green card and 1 research, right? And by pretty much, I mean exactly.
Yeah.
Um, so I would think we'd just see more greening here.
Well, Seize the Day here would make no sense. Yeah, I can't imagine what you buy here. I guess Secret Passage.
Yeah, passage is nice.
Research is
It's like a
over.
lab in the last shuffle.
Yeah. So here. Actually, Zanderg might just have it now. You could probably just sack Province, buy Journey. Or maybe. Yeah, you would buy Journey here, just play 2 silvers. And you could probably set up some kind of configuration where you can Province guaranteed on your Seize turn.
I think so. I think pretty easily, really, with the foragers, and you can trash a silver mine and a province off your foragers, and then easily hit 16.
Yeah. So the big brain play here is to okay. Gamesou is doing something. All right, Zanderg. I think it's time to part ways with the province.
Xander does not agree.
Well, they can just do it this turn too.
Oh, they
Uh,
journey it. I see. Yeah.
yep. Um, really
Easy to
fun.
forget about journey.
Yeah, you would do Journey first and then seize the turn after. Yeah. And I believe the way it works is it doesn't work like Journey, so you would get all of your cards in your shuffle.
Yeah, you should be able to discard them.
Yep.
And then you clearly have enough to hit 16. I guess the question is, do you risk being in that spot?
You do have to
Yeah,
think
where
about it. Yeah.
if gamesou doesn't province, then are you in trouble maybe?
I think the line here is you silver mine for. Oh wait.
Because you can't buy province and buy seize the day. And research something. Yeah, I think I would want to go back to this game and see if the province line worked. So I'm going to copy that code. Okay.
Yeah, it's a little opponent dependent, but I could definitely see it being something that would work at least a very high percentage of the time.
Yeah, okay, now Xander just wins. Wow.
Also just works, just hit 8.
And doesn't even buy Seize the Day. Won without even buying Seize the Day. What a flex.
I'm going to choose to believe that both players completely forgot about Seize the Day.
No, gamesou bought it.
Okay. Well, no, maybe that was a misclick.
No,
I'm
they
hanging.
meant it. Okay, yeah, that's fair. All right, we're on to game 6, and you said that Zanderg just wins the division now, right?
Not the division necessarily, but makes promotion very, very likely.
Okay. Okay.
Because the real competition would have been gamesou coming up to the 3rd spot over Zanderg, and now giving yourself so you don't have that tie break now. It's great for
This
Zanderg.
is 3 pile central with remake rats and port.
Yeah, this will be fast.
So we'll probably see a duchy pile out. Probably won't see a rats pile out unless it's fancy and it's just a win somehow. Probably we'll see ports, duchies, and remakes run out. I think over rats. That's my prediction.
See that. How much game do you think we get with Margrave and Tortured, and do you think Outpost comes in?
Torture is just food for rats, so but yeah, a bunch of tortures and then Margrave a disaster. So torture maybe not so important. Margrave definitely important. Even
Yeah, probably not
so,
time to get into the Torturer stuff, but you do. I would think that there's time to try to play with Margrave draw.
yeah, oh for sure. It'll slow the game down, but I still think this game ends in a 3 pile.
Yeah, the ports are definitely going.
Yeah, for sure. This game should be right up gamesou's alley because maybe I'm just misremembering, but they've definitely done Rats upgrade Duchy rushes before, and this isn't too different. Okay, so we're seeing a merchant down. Zanderg opens Margrave, which I would. Okay, correctly gets the remake.
Yeah.
And then,
And then correctly draws terminals in separate hands.
yeah. I'm assuming we're going to see ports here. Yeah, I like the Margrave open.
Yeah, the dealing with the
Sometimes,
attack is really
yeah.
annoying.
Sometimes your opponent just opens Margrave, just plays it turns 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you're done. Like, it is so annoying when that happens on ladder.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's annoying when it happens anywhere. We've seen it. Well, Xander's getting to play a strong terminal every turn so far. Just good, although it does not line up remake with the states.
Yeah. That's okay. I'll have plenty of opportunity. There'll be a Margrave and a port down here.
Yeah, just thinning is just fine here. You really don't. The threes are not particularly enticing.
Yeah, and you don't mind playing port here. It's just 2 coppers and a remake. If you draw the remake, you're super happy. If not, you probably just even take a Wraths now.
Yeah, I think it's time for the rats now.
Yeah, Xanderg
Sort of you want
is.
to get the rats like 2 turns before you start being ready to trash them.
Yeah. Zanderg feels ahead, like by a lot.
I agree. In the Margrave turn 3, turn 4, remake turn 5, and then that turn 6. It's going pretty
Yeah,
well.
gamesou not finding Margrave. It's on the bottom. Oh, yeah, this is very bad. And not finding Margrave with the he just farmhands the Margrave as gamesou. I mean, I guess you won't even have the opportunity. Yeah, never mind. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe gamesou will find a port.
Yeah, you
It's
have to hope to draw a port off this Margrave, or else it's really game over.
yeah.
Yeah, this is really
This is just
really
game
tough.
over. Yep.
The Xander lost the first two, but now looks quite likely to
I
win the
think you
last
even
four.
sack silver into a farmhands and set aside a copy. Like, why not? It's not like you want to buy a 3.
Yeah, I agree with that. The deck control you get from that is a lot better. And who cares about
Yeah. And
the
then you
silver is in your deck?
and then you can probably even kill one of the rats into an outpost and play it. Like, yeah, seems like a completely crushing line. And now you just do the same thing, but you have more junk in your next. I guess you get an extra port for your trouble instead of a farmhand.
Yeah, have an extra port, and you still have the silver, which with the Margrave is not the worst thing to have.
Duplicate's
It,
greedy, but it's a little greedy. I think I would have taken port.
yeah, I think the duplicate was too greedy.
You can always
You're
gain and
ahead.
play
There's
it.
no need.
Yeah. You can always just
Yeah,
kill a silver into it. It's fine. Generally, I find gain and play is an underappreciated aspect of Dominion for players who are not like at the top.
yeah, not angling for it every time you have it, or at least not structuring your buys at the end of your turn so that you're buying consistency so that you can then do gain and play of payload,
Yeah.
rather than the other way around.
For example, um with the concept of inventor and a village. Okay. This is a little bit sad. Oil torture seems worse than buying farmhands, I agree. A lot worse. All right.
Farmhands is really good.
Yeah. I've been pleasantly surprised by farmhands. But in the case of inventor and villages, if you already have a inventor in your deck, it's usually better to just get a village in because if it's easier to draw your deck and you can often just have a village in your hand, gain an inventor, draw it with the village, and then play another inventor. Whereas if you have two inventors, there are hands where you just have two inventors and not a village, and you don't get to play both of them. So it's kind of a high level concept. Farmhands is DZ's favorite of the second edition cards. I feel like there are a lot of great second edition cards. I've been really liking Joust actually, which is funny because I've been the biggest tournament hater. I hate tournament.
I used to not hate tournament too much, and then I played with it enough. The
Yeah,
hate grew, and it's to the point where it was on my ban list. But yeah, Joust is actually quite fun.
yeah.
It's still very centralizing, but it's not nearly as
It's very
unfun.
mitigated and like the games are interesting. Like someone gets renown and like ordinarily someone gets princess, the game's over. But now it's like there's actually so much play. Like even domain is pretty nice because
Yeah,
it has buy. You can score off the golds. The turnip's pretty nice.
yeah. All six of the rewards are really have their play. Even
Yeah,
Housecarl in some games is
I feel
really strong.
I feel like Housecarl's the worst one, and then every game I've played recently, it's saved me a lot. So I don't even.
Oh, yeah, It's the worst
Yeah.
one on average, and it absolutely will win you games by by picking it up.
Yeah, for sure. All right, now we're kind of running into the situation where the decks are going to stall a little bit because of the Margrave.
Yeah, we don't have quite enough draw here for both
Yeah.
players to actually be taking advantage of the power of remake rats
I
by
would
drawing deck
presume
first.
you just toss the rats here. You know your opponent doesn't have more torturers.
Yeah,
When they play
just toss the
Margrave,
rats.
yeah. Just toss the rats here.
No reason to take a curse. I mean, you're gonna get discarded in all likelihood anyways.
Yeah.
I guess maybe not in all likelihood, but it's at least likely.
Hmm. I guess it doesn't matter. I guess you could take Curse now. I mean, it's a bit sad. You could take Curse now on the presumption that maybe gamesou doesn't find the Margrave. And if so, you're not
Right.
too sad about tossing 4 cards. You just toss the Curse and the 2 rats, and then your deck's a lot worse. And oh, what are we doing?
Um, uh, I just straight up don't understand that. Do you not want to turn? Like,
That's your only draw card.
well, I guess remaking rats is is the other
No,
draw.
that's not draw.
I would certainly like to be playing the Port Margrave first.
Yeah, with that decision, I think gamesou's now in the driver's seat. That was very questionable. Because now they actually could have parted ways with the merchant camp and taken more ports, which I think is better than merchant camp. Yeah, I didn't love the trashes there from gamesou, but it was, I mean, that's still better than dotting.
Yeah, much better than dotting,
Man, if he
although I
finds,
certainly don't love the heavy torturer line here.
yeah, I don't either. Well, it's not terrible. Being forced
Get
to
enough
take
curses in. Which,
like 3 curses and then discarding them definitely hurts.
yeah, I
Oh,
don't
no.
like the torture. Oh,
There it
there
is.
you go. But I still have to play it dead.
Yeah. Well, you're definitely buying farm hands on the port now.
Yeah,
Right? Like, surely.
it's the correct play. I guess you don't actually have that many terminals down there.
No, you have no. You have, oh, toil. Okay, I think that meant farm hands.
Well, and farmhands look pretty darn alike.
They do. All right. And now the great reckoning begins, where gamesou starts putting his foot on Zanderg's neck with all of these curses.
Yeah, you can deal with the curses in time here. You don't mind them at all. They're rat's food, but
Yeah.
Zanderg is not under control enough at this point to necessarily be able to do that.
Yep. And gamesou's just gonna play more tortures, and now you have to take more curses. And it's pretty brutal.
Hmm.
I almost think actually you toss a port here. You can keep a rats for killing one of the curses that you're gonna take.
I could see that.
Yeah, I mean you
Although
have a
I'd be
farmhand
concerned.
port,
You have a
so
farmhand sport. Oh yeah, you have
yeah.
a farmhand sport. So you're not really concerned about terminal space at all.
Yeah. Yep. And now the game's over
And now
because
you hit the outpost and
Yeah.
you're thin
Just buy
as
4
gamesou.
ports. Just choke them out.
Yeah, I like that. At this point, why not? And also that just guarantees that you're gonna have a turn next turn. Or doesn't guarantee it, but right up next to it.
Yep. And now you just play ports until you find Margrave, and well, Zanderg's gonna toss 2 curses here, because yeah, this game's over. I guess if a game resigns, it doesn't end in a 3 pile, but ideally this game would end in a 3 pile.
Yeah, it's certainly gonna head there. There's no reason for it to head into provinces first, although gamesou's a little while away from pivoting into really getting things going economically, but
Yeah.
Zanderg's a while away from having a deck and these duplicates and all that, right? You can easily pivot and start getting a lot of economy quickly that gamesou can play consistently. I agree. This game is over.
Yeah. You can't just take 6 curses and expect to just shrug it off. It's... Yeah. And there's even Grave Robber, too. Like, I hate the gold. Absolutely hate the gold. Just get Grave Robber.
Yeah. But the gold's just not.
The gold's
You
not
have
gonna
plenty
cut
of
it.
terminal space to do the grave robber thing.
Yeah,
Just more efficient.
for sure. You could even do a really funny line where, since your opponent has all of the curses, you could gain a couple of rats and do a rats auto pile. So once the curses are gone, you can just auto pile the rats, and you can use Grave Robber to gain yourself a couple rats to enable it. Because all you need is 2 rats in hand. You play 1 rats, and then you have your deck drawn, and they just auto pile.
Oh yeah, once you got your deck drawn.
Yeah.
Assuming you don't need to buy anything with your treasures. Which if
Yeah.
you're playing with the grave robbers, you don't need to.
Yep. Is there a world where Zanderg wins off of this outpost turn, off of like some freak lucky turn?
I don't think the draw's there. Like
You
even
have to build for it though.
it would require you to empty rats or something like that, right? And then
No, you just empty torturers and curses, and you would just trash all of your curses somehow.
I see.
Something like that. I don't know how possible it is, but I mean, so
It does seem not completely impossible.
so you would remake 2 curses, play duplicate, outpost, gain torture, duplicate it. And I don't know what these top 3 cards are. Probably not good though.
I think we see all the good cards right here. I think is there 1 port down at the bottom?
Probably.
But that port needs to find draw.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, I think you just like gamesou's gonna have 2 turns. There's no way they don't win. You have to win now, so regardless of whether or not it's accurate, I think you just have to to duplicate the torturer and just kind of go for it. There's nothing else to do here. Like this is
so.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, James used up the duplicates to easily pile torturers with some points.
This is like a chess scenario where you have little time on the clock. You know one line is losing, so you just have to go for the other line and hope it works.
Right. Which it could, because the piles are going to be low after this.
Yeah, for sure.
And
Okay.
gamesou's not going to be able to discard.
Absolutely. Except they might have to, because they can't
They might
just
lose
take
otherwise.
Okay, yeah, well,
Well,
all right. At least you had to play the lottery. I mean, okay.
yeah, give it a shot. Could have been a torturer you drew there.
You could have won there easily.
Mm-hmm.
gamesou with the dud.
Wow.
Unless they draw outpost here, in which case they can toilet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
But
gamesou will just buy a province.
But
is Zanderg gonna win this?
Looks like it. I mean, this is just a dud.
This is a
gamesou had
disaster.
Wow.
Did gamesou toss ports out of their hand? I missed what their discard decisions were.
They discarded Curse, Outpost, Copper, Silver. No? No, they didn't
No,
toss any
wow.
ports.
They just bottom decked all villages.
Oh my, and they bought double port.
They bought double ports. They have a merchant camp as well. Oh no, the merchant camp's been trashed.
Yeah, that's crazy. And they don't even have the outpost out because they lost it. Wow, this has to be.
They just buy province and hope that
Yeah, that's
you
all.
get another dud over on the other side.
What? Oh,
What are you toiling for?
is gamesou going to try and win off of remake trashes and curse gaining? Can this work?
You're a little short right now, but I mean, you could get closer.
Doesn't really matter. I mean, gamesou already can just threaten it right here.
Well, if you remake ports, you can take the
And that's it. gamesou
torturer.
just
Oh,
wins
and then
now.
that's it.
Yeah, you can't take
Oh
curse
yeah.
there.
Yeah, Xander needed to not take a curse there. And that's it. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Those are some interesting interesting end games in the end there.
Wow. That was a roller coaster.
Yeah, that last game was wild.
Wow. And gamesou with the idea at least to draw on there, and if you keep finding tortures, you can keep hitting them with torture, and all you have to do is find torture and remake, and you're fine. Because
And
either
that would
your
do it.
opponent forfeits their entire turn due to discards, or wow, what a finish.
Yeah, that was clever. That was clever. I sort of thought about the toil stuff, but I thought, oh, there's not really enough there to do it.
Wow,
But there absolutely was.
that's incredible. That could have backfired too. I mean, I guess they could have drawn like 3 ports or something.
Yeah.
That could have gone wrong.
They did draw 2 ports, I think.
Yeah. But again, it was another risk because it's like if you don't land that, you're probably cooked.
Yeah, you have to just go for the win. I think both players did the right things in terms of going for the wins there.
Yeah. That was
It just
very
worked out for
impressive.
gamesou.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was the result. 3-3 Zanderg gamesou. A lot of those games were very interesting, except maybe
Yeah,
for like
not easy Dominion.
yeah, maybe the first couple were a little boring, but um, even then they were kind of interesting in terms of decisions and stuff. Like the first game had the Necromancer with the Mason stuff was pretty interesting. I don't remember the second game. Maybe the second game was
Yeah.
boring, but the other games were pretty good.
Yeah, I agree. I think the second game was the one that's not memorable, but all the rest really were.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you all next time.